Good morning, all of you. So, in the previous lecture, we discussed the E2 mechanism. And so, whether the reaction proceeds by E2 or it does not give that mechanism. So, we are supposed to give the evidences for the support that the reaction, how the reaction proceeds by E2 mechanism. And so, it's supported by the three different factors, that is the kinetic isotope effect, the element effect, and the absence of hydrogen exchange. And so here, while considering these evidences, so here we will first of all consider the evidence A, that is kinetic isotope effect, or it is called as your primary isotope effect. Now in this, the reaction is the carried out. So here the two reactions were carried out. In the first, the the reaction was carried out by using the normal molecule, and the sodium ethoxide base was used, and the rate was determined for the hydrogen bond breaking. So the ETO minus, that is the base, abstracts this proton, and you get this mechanism or the reaction. The product obtained is PHCH double bond CH2 plus ETOH and NABR. The rate of this reaction was carried out, that is the rate when the molecule is containing the hydrogen atom. Now, in the second reaction, the hydrogens of the beta carbon are replaced by deuterium, are replaced by deuterium, and again the rate of the reaction was calculated. Here again the same base is used, and this base abstracts the deuterium instead of the proton, which is at the beta hydrogen. And so here the rate of this reaction was also carried out. Rate of this reaction was also calculated, and it was found that the first molecule reacts 7 times faster. It reacts 7 times faster than the second. Means here the first reaction, it is taking place 7 times faster. Means the C beta hydrogen bond breaks 7 times faster than C beta deuterium bond. Means C deuterium bond is more strong and needs high energy of activation to break. And so this indicates that the ratio of the rate of the reaction, that is Kh by Kd, is equal to 7. So this indicates that the rate breaking of the CH bond takes place in the slow step, that is the rate determining step. And this indicates if the rate must have not been affected, if the rate of the molecule containing proton and the rate of the reaction containing deuterium, if both must have been same, then the reaction must have not taken place by the E2 mechanism. But as these two rates are different, this indicates that the breaking of CH bond takes place in the slow step, that is the rate determining step, and it affects the rate of the reaction. And so this is the kinetic isotope effect. Then the second factor, now the second evidence, that is the nature of living group. Nature of living group. Now this is the thing, that is the element effect. Means the breaking of the C alpha living group bond takes place in the rate determining step. The breaking of C beta hydrogen takes place in the slow step. So we have seen the breaking of C beta hydrogen takes place in the first step only, that is the slow step, by comparing the rate of the two reactions. Now here, if you change the substrate molecule, means suppose here the RCH2CH2X, X is the type of living group, and here the reactions which proceeds by E2, the element plays an important role. And so if this element, that is the living group, if it is replaced, so here RCH2 CH2 fluorine, RCH2 CH2 chlorine, then RCH2 CH2 bromine, and RCH2 CH2 iodine. Here, as we have seen that these atoms have been changed from fluorine to chlorine, chlorine to bromine, and bromine to iodine, the relative rate of E2 reaction has been increased from 1 to 70. It's 4 into 10 raised to 3 times faster, and then it is 2.5 into 10 raised to 4 times faster. So this indicates that the breaking of the carbon iodide bond takes place very easily, and this indicates that the living group ability affects the rate of the reaction. And so I minus is a better living group than Br minus, which is the better living group than chlorine, and which is the better living group than fluorine. So the rate of reaction increases, means the living group also affects the rate of the reaction, and as these rates are different, this indicates that the breaking of the C alpha living group takes place in the slow step, and so the reaction proceeds by E2 mechanism only. Then the third, that is the absence of hydrogen exchange. Absence of hydrogen exchange. Now, why we want to study this concept, or what is this concept? As we want to show that the reaction follows E2 mechanism, which is a second order kinetics. But the even CB mechanism also shows second order kinetics. And so they are, how we can distinguish this both the reactions, that is the E2 and even CB. So the hydrogen exchange experiment is to be carried out, or is carried out, or was carried out by the different scientists. And so they took the example of the 2-phenyl ethyl bromide, that is the different reactions were performed, that is the 2-phenyl ethyl bromide, that is the alpha, beta, or you can say 1 and 2, 2-phenyl ethyl bromide. And as the reaction was carried out, the base was added. The base abstracts the proton, and in the even CB mechanism, the reaction proceeds with the formation of the conjugate base. Means we are supposed to consider, or we want to prove that the reaction proceeds by E2 mechanism and not by even CB. And so we are performing this reaction by the even mechanism. And so if this E2 ethoxide ion abstracts the proton, you will get the formation of a carbanion, that is the intermediate will be obtained. And now when this intermediate is obtained, if you see that the reaction is carried out in a normal way, what will happen? It will give you that pH, this carbanion will give the electron pair to C alpha carbon, and the living group will be departed, and you will get the product, that is pH CH double bond CH2, means the alkene will be obtained as a product, that is the elimination product. Now what is done in this reaction? If the 10 molecules are being reacting, the reaction will proceed with the formation of carbanion ion. Then after the few molecules have been reacted, the reaction is arrested, and instead of ethanol, here we are using deuterated ethanol as a solvent in the reaction. Deuterated solvent is used, that is the deuterated ethanol. So this DOET means ethanol is there in the solvent. Now when you are going to arrest the reaction means in this sense to stop the reaction at whatever stage it is. Means if we take 10 molecules, if we allow them to react with the base, they will form a carbanion, some will proceed with the formation of a alkene, and suppose 5 6 molecules are remaining, means some are in the reactant, some are in the carbanion phase, some are in the product phase. And when the molecules which are in carbanion phase, and if we arrest the reaction, the carbanion is unstable in the reaction, and so it will try to attain the stability. So what is the best option for it? Instead of giving the electron pair to the C alpha, this carbanion will abstract the proton from the solvent. Now instead of proton, we have added deuterated ethanol. And so this carbanion will abstract the proton, and the product or the reactant will have the deuterated substrate. It will have the deuterated substrate. Means by arresting the reaction in between, the starting material is recovered, means the carbanion will again go to its original stage, or it will try to form the substrate molecule, but the solvent contains deuterated ethanol. That's why it will abstract the deuterium, and as it abstracts the deuterium, you will get a recovery of the starting material. And this starting material, if it contains deuterium, this indicates that the reaction proceeds by E1CB mechanism. And so, after studying this type of reactions, they arrested the reaction, they got the deuterated, they have studied whether the reaction has shown the deuterated reactant. So, it was found that there is no presence of deuterated starting material in the container. This indicates that the reaction does not proceed by E1CB mechanism, it proceeds by E2 mechanism only. Means if the reaction must have taken place by E1CB, you must have got the deuterated substrate. But the reaction does not proceed by E1CB mechanism. This indicates that the hydrogen ion exchange is not taking place. This means absence of hydrogen exchange is seen in this reaction, indicating that the reaction proceeds by E2 only, and not by E1CB, and not by E1CB. And so this is the most important factor, that the unreacted substrate did not contain deuterium. Therefore, there is no hydrogen exchange, there is absence of hydrogen exchange, and so the reaction proceeds by E2 mechanism only. So, these are all the evidences for the E2 mechanism. The next concept, or the next part of this topic that we want to study, that the product obtained is of what type, means because when there is only presence of only one type of beta hydrogen atom, when here we say that it is alpha, this is beta. When there is only one beta hydrogen atom, there is a formation of only one type of product. And so what is the orientation means orientation and reactivity of in E2 reaction, and it oftenly follows the Sedzef's rule. So, what is Sedzef's rule? How it is followed, and which molecule will give you the product other than this? Means now here, if we are having the substrate molecule containing only one type of beta hydrogen atom, we are going to get only one type of product. So, in presence of a base, if it undergoes elimination, you are going to get the product, that is RCH double bond CH2, means only one product. But if there is a presence of two different types of beta hydrogen atoms, if there is a presence of two types of beta hydrogen atoms, so this is alpha, this is beta, and this is beta dash. So the substrate molecule, when contains two different types of beta hydrogen atom, you are going to get two types of beta hydrogen. Then the reaction proceeds with elimination in presence of a base, giving you two different products, that is RCH2 CH3 and RCH2 CH double bond CH2. So here you are getting two products. So out of these two products, which is the major product? The substrate means here which product is obtained. So here you are going to get the two products, and so this product are going to be obtained when it contains two types of beta hydrogen atom. The product will obtain according to the Sedgwick's rule. And so what the Sedgwick's rule states? It states that the more substituted alkene is obtained as a major product. And so this is the product which is going to be obtained as a major product, and this will obtained as a minor product, because here there is a presence of only one alkyl group and here there is a presence of two alkyl groups. So here the two alkyl groups are there, so it's a alkene which is highly substituted, more substituted, and this is less substituted. And so the more substituted alkene will be obtained as a major product. So we can see the different types of examples. The main, we will see the CH3CH, that is the CHBr CH2H. So here this is the alpha carbon, this is the beta carbon, this is the beta dash carbon, this is 2-bromobutane, which contains two different types of beta hydrogen atoms. And if the alcoholic KOH is added, here the alcoholic KOH means when the solution of KOH is prepared in alcohol, it acts as a base. And here you get the product, that is CH3CH double bond CH3, that is 2-butene is obtained as a major product, whereas 1-butene, that is CH3CH2CH double bond CH2, this is 1-butene, is obtained as a minor product. And here we say that the reaction proceeds with the formation of more substituted alkene as a major product. Means here this is di-substituted and here it is mono-substituted. So di-substituted product is obtained as a major product. And so the why you get the more substituted product, does more substituted alkene as a major product, and why you get less substituted alkene as a minor product, we are supposed to justify the answer. And so the this type of examples, if you go through the different types of reactions, you will see that the major reaction follows Sedgwick's rule. What is the Sedgwick's rule? More substituted alkene is obtained as major product, is obtained as major product. So here there are two alkyl substituents, here there is only one alkyl substituent. Only one alkyl group is attached to the carbon-carbon double bond. Here two alkyl groups are attached to the carbon-carbon double bond. And so di-substituted alkene or the highly substituted alkene will be obtained as a major product according to the Sedgwick's rule. And so we are supposed to give justification to our answer, justification of Sedgwick's rule, why the reaction proceeds with the formation of a di-substituted product or a highly substituted product as a major product according to Sedgwick's rule. So here it is necessary to see that the justification. So why this elimination product, which elimination product predominates, why it predominates, and how it predominates. So it is best explained by the stability of alkene and the need of low energy of activation. Means here the 2 points that we are supposed to consider, that is the stability of alkene, and the second point which will explain or justify our answer, it is the need of low energy of activation. Low energy of activation. So we will discuss these justifications in the next lecture. Thank you very much.